first. Second, I want to be a broadcaster just like Boog and Bob Uecker. What was your favorite story with Bob Uecker?
Those are my two favorite broadcasters. Right. Well, okay, so this is a story about.
It's a family show, remember that?
Yeah, I know. There's a little bit. So Robin Yount, right? Robin Yount's dad was not in good health. And I want to get the story not perfect, but so Bob went over to see Robin's dad. And Robin's dad would sit, they had a beautiful backyard, and there's some wildlife that come through the backyard. They went around dusk. So they got to Robin's dad's house, and Bob said, I'm going to stay in the car for a little bit, you go inside. So Robin's dad was sitting, watching the backyard, and they had a caregiver there as well, and all of a sudden Bob Uecker runs through the backyard in his underwear. And Robin's dad goes, Robin, I think I just saw Bob Uecker run through the backyard in his underwear. And Robin goes, Dad, you must be on a lot of medication. There's no way that happened. 10 minutes later, Bob runs through the backyard naked. And Robin's dad, I saw him again, Robin. Dad, you're not seeing Bob Uecker run through the backyard naked. What are they giving you? What kind of medicine are they giving you? And then 10 minutes, Bob walks in the house and he says hi to him. And I told you I saw Bob Uecker.
You were lucky in terms of, as the longtime broadcaster of the Brewers, he did a manager show, you got to know him, you visited with him every single day. It's a pretty cool relationship you guys have.
Yeah, I mean, getting to spend time with, he taught me a lot about just living. He taught me a lot about laughing, but living. The man lived a great life, and you're proud of a life like that. It's proud to be a part of it, and you're proud to be his friend.
Yeah, a huge impact.
Hi, I'm Katie. I'm a Special Olympics athlete and leader. Craig, where was the lucky Taylor Swift candle from? And can I buy you a supply for this whole season?
That's
great.
That's a great question. Thank you. That was from a local store in Chicago. Our clubhouse manager, Danny Miller, is a huge Taylor Swift fan. He's very excited this year because he has a Taylor Swift calendar from when he was a kid, but it matches up to the days this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's already in my office. This old Taylor Swift calendar. So we got the days. So we got some more Taylor Swift ahead of us this year. Yeah.
But so that when you first got the Taylor, this is the way this stuff works. You get the Taylor Swift candle, and then eventually Taylor McGregor does a hit on the Taylor Swift candle.
Yes.
And then you get a basket filled with Taylor Swift candles is what ended up happening.
Yes.
Right.
That's exactly. And they're still coming. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, anybody sent you candles?
Well, we put candles in the coach's room.
Yeah, so it was a nice touch with the coach's room. The overflow of the baskets, we started stealing them and bringing them to the coach's room.
Wow. That's a good touch. All right, back over here to the other side.
So obviously our outfield is very good right now. What are your plans on where are you going to put Seiya this year?
Yeah, so I think Seiya's going to DH a lot. I mean, that's what's going to happen. And, you know, Kyle's going to play right field, Pete's going to play center, and Ian's going to play a lot of left field. You know, we feel like we have another outfielder in Seiya if something happens to one of those guys. But we've talked to Seiya this week about that, and he understands that, and he's on board with that. And things happen during a season. If it doesn't happen, it's been a really good season, and that means that Ian's been healthy, and Kyle. And if Ian and Kyle are healthy all year, and Seiya's healthy all year, man, that's a good offense. I can promise you.
Yeah, how are you going to get all these guys at bats? How are you going to get all these starters innings? Are usually problems. I feel like even more so today, they solve themselves.
Yeah, the games haven't happened yet, and like depth is, it's kind of a boring word at this time of year to say. But 162 games tests every team.
The young man's got the new blues on. DK, what do you think about the new City Connect alternates?
I'm in on them. Yeah, I love the hat. The uni looks really good. They nailed it with the guitar pick.
Yeah.
I think there's some nice little touches. So I'm excited to wear
Yeah, very cool. So we look forward to that. We'll go back to the other side. Go ahead.
Great. Thanks for the opportunity to ask a question. So, Craig, players, sometimes they only have an opportunity that presents itself during the season. So Shota had the no-hitter going. Now, he may get another chance to have a no-hitter, he may not. Do you have any, maybe regrets? I don't want to be too critical of you, but do you have any regrets about not leaving him in the game to finish that no-hitter and make himself a part of history?
Well, yeah, I mean that's a good question, and I know I know the no-hitter is important. You become part of baseball history. I also from my seat, I prioritize the player's health over history. That I have to, right? So I want to make sure Shota's healthy for the next time he pitches. I want to make sure Shota's healthy this year when he pitches. And so at that time, in my estimation, like just his health and preserving health, he's at a pitch count number that you start to get into a dangerous range. That day, it's not dangerous that day. He'll be able to finish the game, and good chance he would have thrown a no-hitter. It's the next start, it's the following start that become the issue, and so for that reason, you take him out, and it's okay.
Good luck this year.
I mean, it's all, they're case-by-case basis, but I would still tell you that I'm going to prioritize his health over a no-hitter.
The other component that's changed in the sport is funny. When Japanese players would come over, pitchers specifically, we talk about, well, they only pitch once a week over there. Over here now, it's getting closer and closer to being fairly similar the way teams are running their stats, right? I mean, at this point, this past year, more starts were made on 5 or more days rest than on standard 4 throughout Major League Baseball. I don't think we're going back. So you're seeing more and more where you need 6 guys. You're either on a 6-man or 6-day rotation, right?
Yeah, I mean, when the game changes in those ways, there's a reason. And frankly, we're asking our pitchers to throw harder and harder, and we're asking them to throw more demanding breaking pitches. And as we do that, it requires more recovery time. There are some special guys that can do both, but it's less and less. And so the health of the players, having your best players out there as many times as you can is really important, and it's hard to do, and we're trying to figure out ways to do it. That there is a trend now to kind of pitch guys a little, like you said, less. It's hard to do, it's hard to manage, but keeping them healthy, and you're taking feedback from the player as well. And that feedback is kind of telling us that that recovery, that extra day a lot of times, is super important.
DK, how hard is it for you in terms of, with pitchers pitching less, it means hitters seeing more guys. So the preparation that goes into, think about what a bullpen day is, for a team. I mean, you're prepping for 8 pitchers, basically. What is that like for you?
Yeah, the starters, they throw less. They don't go as many innings. Our guys are not going to get that third at bat against a starter for the most part. And you just don't see them as many times. As we play everybody throughout the season in your division, you don't get as many at bats against that guy like you do, or you did a couple years ago. So it makes the preparation, the game planning, and I call it like a Rolodex. These guys have a Rolodex in their head of what that pitcher throws, how he throws it, and how he attacks him. And you just don't get as much good information because you don't see him.